had some amazing results with, process that I've been working on. So 60 days ago, I had an epiphany, right? And I said, and it's ridiculous to say it because you've been telling us so many times in so many ways, and I finally was like, dummy, I get it, right? So I said, I'm going to, for the next 30 days, I wrote out a calendar, and I said, for 30 days, every day, I'm going to look at this calendar, and I'm going to write down the things that I'm doing to make sure that I stay happy. Here's the things that I like to do. Here's the things that get me in that positive place. And it forced me, early on, it was a struggle because I forget, oh yeah, the calendar, I got to go do something to make me happy, which sounds crazy. But started to do that, and after a while, it picked up momentum. And one of the things that I did was I wrote you a thank you letter for all the amazing things that happened as a result of the process, which hadn't happened yet. And so every day, twice a day, I would read that letter, picturing the hot seat and me reading it, or me saying it to you as if it had already happened. And I won't read the whole letter here, but some of the things that
So let's just talk about the vibrationally accurate components so far.
Okay.
So by writing the letter now about something that hadn't manifested as if it already had manifested, you blurred the lines of present and future and focused upon the vibration, which caused you to offer a vibration that was not split. And when a vibration isn't split and you focus upon it in a steady way, manifestations come to the vibration. Doesn't matter. Everything is now. So whether you're thinking about the past or the present or the future, you're doing it all right now.
Right.
I've found the vibrational frequency and I'm practicing it now because of something that is coming. But when you play it like that, it shores up the vibration now. Yes.
And the other aspect of it too is I wasn't that specific on some of it, because I noticed in the past I used to be very, very good at force filling my own grid. You know, I'd say, I want to date that person. I'm going to make this happen because she's the right one. And then I'd be dating her and I'd go, ooh, no, sorry. Right? So, but I was very good at that. I could pick jobs. I'm going to get that job and it's going to be awesome. And I would get it and I would be miserable. So this, I talked about, I was less specific. And I said, okay, so one of the things is I've always wanted to be in business with my best friend. And we're going to finally figure out something that's going to be in a fun field that I maybe have no business in, but we're gonna make that happen finally, and I'm gonna finally find the love of my life. And I wrote down all the attributes of this woman, and I found that in reading it, by the time in reading this letter to myself, pretending it had all already happened, I was in love with her, right? I didn't even know her, but the list was exhaustive, and it's like, this is the most amazing woman on the planet. And I wrote about how, and I'm going to lose 15 pounds, and I'm going to eat whatever I want, and I'm going to not exercise, and it's going to be fantastic. So I'm reading this miracle thing, and so over the 30 days, or 60 now, I didn't lose 15 pounds, I lost 17 pounds. Not, thank you, not changing anything. My best friend calls me out of the blue and says, I've got this amazing idea for a business, we're going to be partners, I have no business being in this field whatsoever, but it's the field I want to be in. And he said, we're 50-50 partners, and we're getting all kinds of feedback on this is going to be this amazing thing. I'm going to be quitting my boring job soon and doing that full time. And then out of nowhere, a woman who I have carried a torch for 10 years, who we've been very, very good friends, all of a sudden one day says to me, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I can't not anymore. I am in love with you. And she is amazing, like amazing. And she's everything that's on the list, all of those things. And I'm sitting there and I keep looking at her going, really, me? And she's saying the same thing to me. I can't believe it. So I don't want to talk her out of it. But so everything that I put in here to thank you for, I'm here now to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So let's talk about the components of this. It's very clear what he's been doing. He practiced himself into the momentum of expecting what he wanted through writing the list of what he wants and speaking of it as if it is already done.
Yeah.
Genius.
That was the one half of it, and the other half was, so when I was doing those things to make myself happy, I wasn't doing it saying, okay, now I'm going to pet my cat because somewhere the love of my life is coming, right? And I wasn't doing it to try to make it happen. I was saying, I got that in the letter. I'm already going to be thinking, thanking Abraham and Esther and everybody. I get it. She's going to come out of nowhere. So right now, I'm just going to have fun petting the cat or doing whatever was on my list of fun things to do.
Well, hear what you're saying. This is an important thing, because what he's saying is he gets it that there's step 1, ask for what you want. Step 2, the universe has already lined it up. And step 3, getting in the place of allowing what you want. But the important thing about the reason that you might want to pet your cat is in petting your cat, you're doing the step 3 thing. You can't do step 1 and step 3 at the same time. So anything that you're doing that feels good while you're doing it is a step 3 moment. Mm-hmm. There are 2 things that you talked about that we really think are worth shining a little light on because of how effectively they worked for you, and we just want to talk about what that is. The first thing is, when you are trying to motivate something into being, when you're trying to hammer it into being, you talked about that a little bit, there is this belief within you that there is some hurdle to overcome. And so when you talked about wanting to hammer the grid into place, when you take an easy approach about things, then you're more likely to be inspired. And the inspiration to act is really what we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. So by practicing the thoughts that feel good about the things that you really care about, you practice the vibration until you are chronically in this place of allowing what you want. It's like on this emotional scale of spinning grid point of attraction discs, you found yourself chronically in that happy, good feeling place, because what you had written and what you were reading and what you therefore practiced into a place of expectation got you there so that you were chronically there. Mm-hmm. So that anything that is a vibrational match to that kind of momentum has to join you there. Mm-hmm. So we just want to point out the difference between being there and attracting up to where you are things that match it, as opposed to being in a place of trying to make it happen and trying to push things along. It's like pushing a noodle. Everything that you said is vibrationally accurate. Everything that we felt from you while you said it is vibrationally accurate.
Am I correct in assuming that allergies, asthma, things like reoccurring knee injuries, moles even, are all vibrational discord?
They are all vibrational indicators of difference between who you are physically and who you are vibrationally. So your statement is accurate. We just became more specific.
What's the best way of, for instance, if you want to get rid of moles or...
You can't get rid of anything.
Right. And that's my point, is how best to focus. Is it a general soothing that I need to do for myself?
Let us ask you some questions. Do you believe that in the living of unwanted, that there is a wanted side of the balance?
Absolutely.
So in knowing what you don't want, you have put into your vibrational reality a request for something different than you have.
Right.
Do you believe that, vibrationally speaking, it's already been accomplished and that it is done?
Yes.
So the bridge that you're trying to make for yourself is, how can you accept the present tense doneness of a request when you're looking in a mirror and the physical reality is showing you something different? It's time for you to take a stand on which reality you're going to focus upon. Are you going to focus, as most humans do, on the past tense reality that you call physical reality? Now, we're stretching your thoughts, but when we stand over here in the vibrational reality, which is where all of you have put everything that you've been asking for, and we see the doneness of it and the nowness of it, we have to pronounce your now reality past tense from our perspective. And in the moment that you accept it as past tense, as you reach for the feeling of what really is now reality, now it has to shift for you. It has to shift for you in what people who are steeped in now reality will call magic, in what people who are steeped in now reality will call miracle, in what people are steeped in now reality will call it can't possibly happen because it defies the physical laws of the universe as I know them to be. In other words, there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have when you are a vibrational match to the essence of what you seek. So you have to let loose of reality. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would stop taking score. We would stop talking about unwanted things with others. We would stop keeping our perspective alive, and therefore our point of attraction alive about things that we are ready to let go of. And we would do everything in our power to activate within ourselves the new frontier, you see.
I want to do that, and I'm making that decision.
Then make it emotional, not factual.
Yes.
Make it a feeling thing, not a deciphering of. Make it something. Make it a game that you're playing between you, and leave the peanut gallery out of it. In other words, you can't talk to others about something that they haven't even decided that they want to see and make any headway. You just have to decide what's the best use of your moment right now. And when you decide that it's to feel good, then there's a whole lot of things that you might talk about that are physical manifestationally happening right now that become unwanted because they hold you apart from the creation. Let us ask you some questions. Do you accept that this is a vibrational universe?
Yes.
Do you accept that the precursor to everything that is manifested is a vibration?
Absolutely.
Do you accept that there are things wanted and unwanted that are right now in the pre-manifestational stage?
Yes.
Do you accept that you get what you think about whether you want it or not?
Yes.
Do you accept that there is more to creation than a continual beating of the drum of how things are?
Absolutely.
Do you accept that there are a variety of perspectives about how things are?
Mm-hmm.
Do you accept that you could sift through now reality and find good feeling things and not good feeling things?
Yes.
Do you accept that as you become a more deliberate selective sifter, that whether you're looking into past, present, or future, you can find in the vortex vibrations?
Yes.
Do you think it is easier for you to find a positive emotion on something that you've currently trained yourself to the point of being negative about by being specific or general? In other words, if you feel negative emotion, is it easy, and it's negative emotion that you're usually feeling, would it be easier for you to let go of the negative emotion if you are specific or general?
General.
So, do you believe that the vortex of creation is, from your perspective, from your physical human perspective, more general or more specific?
My vortex creation is specific.
When you're in it, you can get specific. But when you are not in it, in other words, if you're in that place where you're not feeling good, do you think that what's in your vortex, do you think that you have the ability to find it specifically, or is your only hope of finding it to look for it in the general direction?
In the general direction.
Do you think that emotions are more specific or general than thoughts that produce them?
Oh, they are more general. Yeah.
Isn't this interesting? So as you reach for a feeling rather than a specific thought, you're more likely to find it. And as you find it and practice it, it will become more specific. So that's how you feel your way into the vortex, hang around there long enough that then what's in there begins to frame itself up, and that's how thought morphs into manifestation that you call reality.